Okay, James. We're kind of back from the international break now. We've had a bit of FA Cup stuff. I think, is when we get to kind of the semis and the finals, that'll become more interesting. But I didn't. I mean, I watched the Man City Bournemouth game, but I'm really waiting for the Premier League to come back. But what the international break did give us, it's the first kind of first little droplets, let's say, of what might be happening in the summer transfer window. And there was one bit of news that just took over all the other news. And that is that we're 99% done. We're nearly at a here we go for Trent Alexander-Arnold signing on a free transfer for Real Madrid, right? Real Madrid, who've obviously Danny Carvajal. I mean, I'm pretty critical of him. I think he's kind of underwhelming, but Danny Carvajal has been an unbelievable servant for Real Madrid for many years. Valverde can do anything and play anywhere and has been filling in the odd time at right back. But I think they're looking for somebody to come in and just fill that position. And Agent Jude has kind of done his thing here. And it looks like Trent Alexander-Arnold will be wearing Los Blancos kit next year. What I wanted to ask you about is, I mean, specifically on Trent, he's received a lot of criticism as a local lad. I just wanted to kind of open this up and just talk about it from many different angles. But first of all, I mean, if you think of somebody like, say, Bukayo Saka, Arsenal win the Champions League, Arsenal win the league, they do all this stuff, and then he hits, his mid to late 20s, and then he decides to leave. I guess I'm trying to put you in the emotional space. How would you feel about, a local player who's played for your club for 8 years, you're still winning stuff, they leave to go to Real Madrid? You let that person off? Where do you stand on this?
As a football fan, it hurts. But if I'm Trent Alexander-Arnold, I say fair play to him for having the cojones that Steven Gerrard didn't have before. Because as far as we all know, Steven Gerrard stayed at Liverpool, but he didn't really. He texted Jose Mourinho and he gave Chelsea his word that he was going to join them. The reason why he didn't join them because he was bullied in staying with Liverpool. That's just listen. That is just the facts. Yeah, he was bullied. He was ready to play for Chelsea, and I know he says, "Oh yeah, it means more playing for Liverpool." Yada yada yada. So why did he agree in the first place to join Chelsea? Trent showed a lot of cojones here, and he's gonna stand by his decision, and rightfully so. Jack, this is he's a part of a Liverpool team that won their first Premier League title in 30 years, and is about to deliver a second one. Yeah, he leaves Liverpool in my eyes with his head held up high and has done absolutely everything he could possibly do for Liverpool in these last 7 to 8 years of play. If you're a Liverpool fan, do you expect him to be bitter? Of course, because this guy is going to take them for the next 10, 15 years or so. Can you get into Trent Alexander-Arnold? No, because he's probably the most creative fullback we've ever seen, Jack. No fullback in the history of football can do what he does, and I'm talking about with the ball at his feet. I don't think he's as technically great as Marcelo was, but
Right.
in terms of you of destroying a whole back back line with his passing range, he's second to none, Jack. And
Yeah.
I look at him right now and what he's contributed to Liverpool. He's given them everything he possibly could. And granted, you want more, but he wants more for his career. And I guarantee you this, with his ambitions of wanting to win a Ballon d'Or and wanting to do great stuff, he can do that when the white of Real Madrid. He can accomplish what he wants to accomplish in terms of you being the best fullback for 5 to 10 odd years, and then put himself in a conversation with the greats of all time. You're with your Marcelos, your Roberto Carlos, your Cafus, your Dani Alves. That's what he wants to do, and joining Real Madrid can put him in that echelon for sure.
I agree with absolutely everything you said. Um, it hurts, like you say. I understand the disappointment, but you have to look at a guy who's won a Champions League, who's won a Premier League, and I think I remember hearing Jamie Carragher go, "If I was there, I'd want to be having more titles than Man United. I'd want to be trying to catch Real Madrid with Champions League titles." It's like, well, that's fine, but from right fullback, when you've already dedicated 8 years of your life to a club and you've probably achieved all that you can achieve at that club, having those new experiences, having a bit of fun, and becoming a better and well-rounded player, I think just makes perfect sense. I think also any Liverpool fan, listen, your disappointment is fine. That's okay. You've lost a player who maybe at the peak of his powers, somebody might have paid 60 mil, 70, 80 mil for. Who knows? But he's given you all he's done. He's come through the academy and he wants the opportunity to go. Real Madrid were not willing to pay that kind of money for a right fullback when he was at the peak of his power. So I'm telling you, I don't know this, but I'm telling you what happened 2 years ago. Be it, somebody from Real Madrid's upper management team, a couple of the players, I don't know. They were just feeding in, hey, if you don't sign a new deal, we'll come get you for a free. Just keep playing, keep up your levels, blah, 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 stay fit, and then we'll come and get you. That's the only way he can achieve his dream. He's gone and done that. He's entitled to do that, in my opinion. So I don't think badly of him about that at all. But what that does add to, James, sorry, go ahead. You want to say something? Sorry.
Uh, The one thing I get footballers say that, oh, I want to stay and do more. 100%. He's right to say I want to do more. If you win, you want to win more. You want to win. If you win 10, you want to win 11. If you win 11, you want to win 12. We keep on going. But as Jamie Carragher says he wants to win more. I would have loved to know what Jamie Carragher would have done if Real Madrid would have came calling and
Right,
given them
right,
great fee and an opportunity to play in Spain for the biggest team in the world. It's all easy being saying, oh, I love Liverpool and that. But when a team of Real Madrid, we're not talking about a Bayern Munich or a Juventus. We're talking about Real Madrid, the creme de la creme of football.
right,
As you can see, Jack, it is not too many players have said no to Real Madrid.
right.
And for him to say, oh, I would have, it's Real Madrid. Actually, it's just Real Madrid.
Yeah. Well, so let's piggyback that onto Mo Salah, onto Virgil van Dijk, onto maybe a sophomore slump for Arne Slot without his best player in the modern era of his football team, the best, arguably the best fullback in the world. There's a debate to be had there, and arguably still, a top five centre back in the world there at centre back. Your captain and your vice captain leaving in the same off season, and your most valuable player. James, I don't know if we'll ever see an exodus like this ever. Now, they may still sign new deals, but these are guys closer to the end than the beginning, right? We know this whole thing about not giving long contracts to players going forward and all this kind of stuff. There's money to be had, money to be made, and these players should kind of deserve the money they've gotten off the season we've had and what they've contributed to the club. Now, I know there's this theory about you pay for what you're gonna get as opposed to what you've had. I totally understand that. But I think that if you play those hard enough, you're going to lose your MVP, your captain, and your vice captain, and arguably your three most important players.
I just want to just touch a little bit on the Trent before I go into the Mo Salah
Yeah, yeah,
thing. I think Trent Alexander-Arnold has made the most difficult decision of his career in terms of you. He chose the hardest path that he can choose. And you
right,
may think choosing Real Madrid is a hard path. Yes, it is. Because we've seen some of the greatest football players of all time be broken by the Real Madrid system. Jack, one bad result is like the whole walls fall down there. We've seen all-time greats not being able to cope at the highest level. Yeah,
right,
players like Kaká, granted injuries happen. Eden Hazard, granted injuries happen too. But we've seen all-time greats flounder around Madrid, and that's made people look at them differently as as they retired. Yeah, he could have easily stayed at Liverpool and been in his comfort zone, a zone
right,
where Steven Gerrard stayed in his whole career, where he gets criticized, but he's protected by the shield of Liverpool, the shield of the fans, telling him how great he is. Jack, one bad game, yeah, he could find himself on the bench for a
right.
Carvajal or like a Freddie Valverde, something like that. He can easily get exposed. He's putting himself out there now.
Yeah,
Yeah. And it's a make or break moment for Trent Alexander-Arnold because the cover and the support he got at Liverpool won't be there anymore. I'm sorry, but he's not going to have Rudiger coming in to cover him all the time and leaving a big space there because them spaces will get exploited. Yeah, because
right,
also with that, the attacking talent of Mbappe, Vinny, Rodrigo, yeah, they don't do that much defending, Jack.
right.
And if Trent don't defend, yeah, it's going to be a tough out for him. It's going to be a
Yeah,
tough out for them too. So I give him so much credit for choosing this path because it's to some people it's easy. I don't think it's easy. I think this is the hardest thing that he can do because he's going to be challenged the most he's
yeah,
ever been challenged in his career. Yeah,
yeah,
not the support won't be there as much as others. He's not gonna move into midfield or anything like that and no. They don't play for. Liverpool played to get the best out of Trent.
right.
Trent has to play to get the best out of the players on that Real Madrid team, which is it's gonna be amazing to watch. But
Yeah,
moving on to the Mo Salah thing, Mo Salah is about to leave, about to have his final season at Liverpool. If he does sign, we'll get to that. But he can leave having a 30-goal season with 20 plus assists.
Yeah,
He can finish that
32 goals, 22 assists so far, and 43 appearances.
but like in the league right now, he has
Hmm.
17 goals. No, 20. He's 27 goals, 17
17 assists. Yep.
assists. Yeah, he could have arguably the greatest individual season in Premier League history statistically and also overall, depending on how you're feeling. And I look at this from this point of view, Jack. He wins his second Premier League title. He wins his fourth Golden Boot. Yeah, I don't think it gets any better than that.
No, I agree.
And I'm gonna give you this little statement that I heard, and this is probably one of my favorite statements of all time. You either die a hero or live long enough to see yourself become the villain. And you have to ask, Mo Salah has to ask himself right now, with everything I've done, moving into next season, could you imagine if I have a bad season? What's that gonna do to me and my legacy in terms of view of we've seen fans turn on players after big contract signings.
Well, so
Aubameyang, yeah, Alexis Sanchez, Mesut Ozil, think about it, Marcus Rashford. We've seen all that stuff there. You can get a bigger bag in Saudi Arabia, Jack, and have a chill day or go to Barcelona or like whatever on a free. The world is his oyster.
but
Why
what's
stay?
what's what's crazy is a bad season, James. Let's be honest. Off the back of this season, a bad season is double digit goals, double digit assists. Now,
Jack,
that's crazy. But if you think about where he'd be going from and going to, that's what we're dealing with. You're still dealing with a guy who'd be contributing unbelievably highly for his team. But like you say, that villainy aspect you talk of, that villainy aspect is not the goals or the assists or lack thereof. It's the 400K a week and not, oh, I'm Mo Salah. I'm going to sign a 2 year deal with an option for the club for an extra year for my third year. No, he's going to be there, be like, I'm at the top of my game. I've arguably had the best Premier League season of all time from any player. So actually, no, I don't want a 2 year deal with an option. I want a four, I want a 5 year deal. And I want to be the one to choose when I can go with all certain other clauses. And that's the biggest problem. Because again, it's the same for Virgil van Dijk. We can't look at goals and assists and say, oh, he's fallen off a little bit more of an eye test. Maybe there's some stats on FB Ref we can look at, right, for Virgil van Dijk's downfall. But it's the same kind of thing. That villainy aspect you talk about is they might not even drop off that badly. They could still be a top 10 player in the world in their position or a top 20 player, but that price tag is what will kill you. That price tag is what will have you dead to fans.
not only that, Jack, I think is the vitriol of way people feel about Mo Salah. People are waiting for his downfall.
Right.
In one bad performance we seen against PSG, we seen what people had to say about him. We see how people, oh, his play style. If he doesn't score, if he doesn't get his XG, what does he do? Oh, da, da, da. Could you imagine if Mo Salah has a season where he gets his double-digit assists, but Jack, the production just drops? Yeah,
Yeah.
the performance drops even further. You know what, Jack? You know what's going to come with that. And I just have to look at what he's done this year. You just got to bow out now. You got to bow out because
I,
I think things get so much more difficult because not only that, Jack, you mentioned the player that we just spoke about before. One of Mo Salah's biggest weapons is Alexander-Arnold, and now ball
right.
in behind. Yeah,
And
no
he's
Trent
as
there.
James, as far as I'm concerned, he's already gone as well. Like with
He,
Mo and with Van Dijk, I can see a situation where the news drops. They both hold kits that say 2028 on them, and they've signed 3 year deals or 4 year deals, 2029, whatever. And it's this incredible thing. They've worked something out. But Trent's gone. You know what I mean? He's already out the door.
and Jack, to me, we've spoken about how Mo Salah's positioning has dropped deeper and gotten wider as years have gone by. It's going to double even more now. He's going to stay wider. He's going to have to drop deeper for the ball because he knows that ball's not going to come. Whoever is playing behind him does not have the range that Trent Alexander-Arnold has on the ball. That run that he makes 10 times out of 10, you know that ball's going to find him every single time, isn't going to happen anymore. So where does he go from there psychologically? Kitting up for a Liverpool team without his biggest partner going forward isn't there. You look at somebody like Robertson going out the window. Jack, there's a lot in this Liverpool team that will change next season. And players like Diaz not Diaz not really sure. Luis Diaz not really sure. I'm just hearing loads of different rumors of of that attacking force of
Jota,
Liverpool.
Nunez,
Yeah,
all leaving. Yeah, yeah,
them not wanting them. I'm not sure they're going to want to come back in Liverpool, Jack. Let's be dead honest with ourselves right now. In the last 5 years, how much investment has Liverpool really put into the club? Do you really think that they're going to have that sort of boom sort of summer where Jack they sign another 10 players and pay 100 to 400 million? It's not going to happen.
it won't be. It won't be. I still think they're going to have to spend a lot of money if those players leave. But okay, it was kind of a good segue actually. Arne Slot's done great in his first year. I don't think he's done anything crazy, crazy. I just think he's brought the guys in a little bit more in terms of the mad dog mentality of pressing. They're a little smarter with their energy efficiency. I think he's got the midfield ticking over a little bit better, and that's the way they've won. Also helps Arne Slot that Arsenal a couple of bad decisions in pre-season with recruitment, a couple of injuries not going their way. Man City really fallen off, going not the signings and all this kind of stuff. But do we see a sophomore slump here, right, for Arne
Jack,
Slot without these
Jack,
three guys? I know we say, I feels like we say it every year, but are Liverpool gonna, are we gonna be
Jack,
talking about them in third or fourth next year? I don't know.
I'm gonna give a prediction. My prediction next year. Liverpool may be the worst title. We may see the
James,
worst
this is
title of
okay.
right. We may see the worst title event in the last 10 years next season for Liverpool. I'm gonna call it
Clipping
right
it.
now.
We're gonna clip
Liverpool,
it. It's
flip
there.
it. Liverpool Football Club may not even make top four next season, Jack. That's how unsure I am of what's going on. Because if you lose Mo Salah, you lose Trent Alexander-Arnold, Jack, that is 60 plus goals. You're taking out the team, goals
Yeah,
and assists.
yeah.
Yeah, we don't know what's going to happen with Virgil van Dijk. Yeah, imagine if he goes, Robertson goes. There's so much that has to be done right now, and I think if you're a Liverpool fan, if somebody would have came to you and told you that, you know what, we win the league, and next season is a bit of a wobble, they'll they'll take it. I would have took it if somebody offered me to the league this year. They're going to win it by counter, Jack. They're going to win it with
Right.
5, 6, 7 games left. But
Yeah.
next season, it might be a tough one for them. And Arne Slot, I think it's always for a couple of coaches is it's a honeymoon period. His honeymoon period might be is this year. It might be an absolute nightmare next year. But I'm going to call it Liverpool being in the top four next season.
I don't think you're crazy. I'm going to say it's probably third or fourth. I don't know if they drop out altogether. I still think it's Champions League qualification because James, and I'm not even saying this works, and we're kind of playing fantasy BS right now. But if Milos Kerkez comes in at left back, if Mateus Cunha gets signed, right? If they're somehow able to pull off the Isak deal, or if they're able to get a Gyökeres or a Sesko or a Vlahovic or somebody who can reliably score goals, not to the level of Mo Salah, but reliably score more goals than, say, a Darwin Nunez. If they can bring in another winger who's kind of hot off the right hand side, if Connor Bradley steps up or they sign a half decent player, I can see how you can kind of spread the goals around a little bit more and maybe it's a different look team, but obviously change takes time. So I'm not going to totally bet it, but like I said, I'm going to say it for the third time. People will be sick of me saying it. Your captain, your vice captain, and your most valuable player. And probably, if we're thinking about it, I'm just trying to do like a rough calculation. Even at their ages, and I'm going to have a look. Mo Salah's worth 55 million euros at the moment, even in considering his age. Trent's worth 75 million euros. And okay, Virgil van Dijk's worth 28, but is a little older. That's all according to Transfermarkt. Those are three of your much more expensive players all leaving the club. And that massive hole's got to be filled by somebody. So James, we try and end videos, I guess, in general this way. Trent, I think you and I can both agree, is gone. Now, Virgil van Dijk, Mo Salah, what's your prediction of what will happen? Starting next season, Mo Salah is playing for who?
Not Liverpool. I think he walks. I think he either goes Saudi or he goes to La Liga or somewhere else. He goes find another place to
La
call home.
Liga though would have to be one of two teams though, right? We
Jack,
we can't.
I'll be honest with you, that Real Madrid left hand side, that Real Madrid right hand side is looking a bit sweet.
But what would be the play? You sell Rodrigo, you sell I don't know, Endrick, what do you do?
You just add another player to the list. It is what
Dude,
it is. Real
that
Madrid,
Real Madrid Liverpool rivalry would be crazy if they take Trent
crazy,
and
crazy.
Mo Salah. Oh my days. Okay, fine. So maybe La Liga for you, but confirmed kind of not at Liverpool. I'm gonna say because I don't think he goes to La Liga, and I don't think he goes to Germany, and I don't think he goes to Italy. And James, I'll be honest, he's still playing at such a high level. I don't think he would go to Saudi. He can take that Saudi pay cut when he's 38 and still make as much money as they'd offer him now.
100%.
I'm gonna say I know it's Luis Enrique, and I know that he requires that teamsmanship and blah blah blah. I wonder if Paris Saint-Germain, with the exodus of talent there, Kvaratskhelia has come in on that left-hand side. Can Mo Salah come in there on a free transfer? Him and Luis Enrique have a nice relationship. I don't
Jack
know. Yeah,
Dembele.
yeah, Dembele, of course, but I think there's a way you could make that work. I don't know. I'm just gonna say the people who are usually capable of dishing out those big bucks, I think PSG are just a team that come to mind. And I know Luis Enrique's got something really good going at the moment, completely changed the culture, but they're just the team I look at. I'm going to rule out another Premier League team. I just don't think it's going to happen. Um, but that's the only team I can think of. But James, I think they work something out. I think Mo Salah stays. That's what I'm going to say. I think he stays. I think he owns a lot of money, but I think it's for a deal where it just kind of works for both sides. But it'll be fascinating to see how it shakes out. Same question, Virgil van Dijk. Start of next season, Virgil van Dijk's playing for who?
If I'm Virgil van Dijk, I leave. I honestly do leave. And Jack, you think I'm stupid here?
No, no.
No. Listen. Madrid.
You really think you go to Real Madrid? So
Jack, no, okay.
you got
Jack,
Trent, Salah, and Virgil all playing for Real Madrid
Jack,
next
Real
season.
Madrid gets everybody on the free, but he's probably not going to Madrid. But if we're Real Madrid, like you see somebody like Virgil van Dijk there, Jack, you come here, especially with their defensive issues right now. Keep him for 2 years, wait for William Saliba to run down his contract
Soften
a little
up.
bit, and then bring him in. Jack, this is Real Madrid. This is Real Madrid tactic we're talking about here. But again, I think he's the most likely to sign right now because I think he's the most quiet one and probably the most open to probably staying at Liverpool. But yeah.
My only interesting thing with Virgil van Dijk is isn't Konate thinking about leaving, or there's been some interest in him? Like,
Jack,
I don't know. This is why it's so interesting, though, because Trent's gone, but the other two guys, I can see them staying, but I can also see them going. It's crazy.
but Liverpool fans, let me know how you feel. Yeah, we think Trent's gone.
He is
What's gonna happen
gone.
with Mo Salah? Yeah, he is gone. What's gonna happen to Mo Salah? What's gonna happen to Virgil van Dijk? Comment down below. Let us know.
What's going to
And
happen
as
to
I
your
said,
club?
yeah, Liverpool, congratulations on winning the Premier League. But are you guys gonna finish in the top four next year? Let us know. Comment down below, and we will see you guys next time.